Two. Class 2 is in the ring. I need class 3 to be lining up, please. Class 3, I need you to line up.
With another really good class here, and I think a pair that's on the top end of this deal, that when you put all the pieces together, we got to recognize that they're quality goats that are good off their feet and legs, and they can move, and they got some shape to them. The little red-rumped goat that's going to win the class, I think, is built really well. That goat's functional off his feet and legs and moves around the ring well. He's one that's got enough muscle shape to him. I won't tell you he's the heaviest muscle because he's not, but he balances up extremely good. He's really neat, and in a profile standpoint, the way his neck ties into his shoulder, he's level enough down his top line. He's super good in his hip and hind leg structure when you put him in motion, and he's got enough muscle shape to win the class. The little goat that comes second maybe has a touch more expression of muscle down his top, a little more squareness over his rack and loin, but he doesn't balance up quite as neat as the one that wins it. This goat wants to break behind his shoulder a little bit and get a little rounder out of his hip, and at times doesn't look the part as well as the red rump goat that wins the class. But a nice pair on top of there. And then we come to a third place goat. This is a really nice one from a balance profile and profile standpoint. Long-bodied goat that's functional off his feet and legs, level in his top line, just not enough muscle in him today to move him any higher. Needs another 30 to 60 days on feed to catch up to those two in front of him. Our fourth place goat, love his body. If you could cut him off right at his legs down and say, man, this is a really good one. Big back, big-ended kind of a goat with a lot of rib and structure to him. But he, like another goat that ends up in this class, just not functional enough off their feet and legs. This one needs to be straighter from his knees down to the ground, needs to have a better set of toes and pasterns on him before I can move him any higher. Let's give these kids a round of applause for a really nice class. Still waiting. They're not even right down.
Class 3, you should be lined up. Class 2 winners. First place was Daniel Kelly. Second was Madeline Johnson. Third place was Sarah Boniel. Fourth place, Colton Sears. Fifth place, Alexander White. And sixth place, Colton Sears. Congratulations, class 2.
Well, a really good class here and about class three, and I think a pair on top that take a little more consideration and time to evaluate. They're different in their types and kinds. I think the added bone, the added hip and hind leg structure, and the goat that wins the class probably edges it out for me. This goat's really good off his feet and legs. He's really big boned and big footed, and he's still got enough muscle shape down his top. I won't lie, the goat in second's got more shape right behind his shoulders. He's a bigger loined goat. He's a bigger racked goat. His problem is in his hip and hind leg structure. He wants to get a little rounder out of his hip, wants to carry that hock at a different angle than maybe what I'd call ideal, and I'd like to see just a touch more foot size and bone underneath him compared to our class winner. But a pair of really nice goats at the top end. Young man's got a nice doe here in third. Big backed, big ribbed kind of a goat that's got plenty of muscle, giving up some shape and dimension and expression to these two in front of her. But a young man's done a great job of feeding and fitting this one, a nice doe there in third. Young man ends up in fourth with a big back, thick one. This one tends to play out when you get right behind him. He's also a little shorter from flank to flank, not quite the overall look that we find in some of the goats that are in front of him. Let's give these kids a round of applause for a really nice job.
Class 4, you should be lined up. Class 4, you should be lined up. Class 3, first place was Ava Fry. Second place, Abigail Vogler. Third place, Porter Spencer. Fourth place, Trip White. Fifth place, April Vidocq. And sixth place, Alexander White. Congratulations, Class 3. And just to say thank you to our sponsors again, we have Shopee Auto Supply. Eric and Jennifer Boniel, SPJST District 1, Donnie Victorick, Scamardo Food Service and the Farm Patch, Woodson Lumber Company, EAG Automotive, Jackson Insurance Agency, and Citizen State Bank. Just to announce, our random drug testing is out of Class 4, placing 3. So that will be our random. Class 4, place 3.
I was trying to slide it. Well, we get into some bigger goats here in a really good class and a lot of variation in them. Young man's going to win the class pretty handily. He could be prettier, but he's certainly a massive, stout-made goat that's wide-based. He's good enough on his feet and legs. You know, if you're going to make him ideal, you'd level him down his top line, pick his old tail head up a little bit and make him look prettier from the side. But boy, when you get your hands on him, he is one massive dude. Big rack, big loin edges in him, a big hip in him. I think an awful nice one to lead the class off. The one in second's got to follow him. He's a lot like him from the body shape and body design. He's very similar to our class winner in terms of mass down his top. He's not as good on his feet and legs. He's a little frailer in his footwork. He's a little frailer in his bone work. Not quite as stout as the one that wins the class. Young lady's little doe here that comes third. Man, has he got a bit, or she has a huge top in her. Now, she gives up a little bit in terms of balance and eye appeal. She's a little deeper in her chest floor when you put her in motion. She's not as wide based underneath, but man, a big top, big rib. All three of those goats got to stay towards the top end. Get a little different kind here in number 4. I like this one a lot on a profile. When she moves around and walks this goat, she can show really good. That goes real level, hipped, really good in her hind leg, just not enough to him. He's narrowed down his top. He wants to break behind his shoulders a little too much, especially when we compare him to the 4 in front of him. Good class. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Class 5, you should be lined up. Class 5, please be lined up. Congratulations to Class 4. We've got first place, Tanner Moore. Second place, Coburn White. Third place, Paisley Spencer. Fourth place, Ava Fry. Fifth, Paisley Spencer. Sixth, Hayden Tomlin. And seventh, Ian Marshall. Congratulations, Class 4.
Another really good heavyweight class, and I think in these smaller numbers, you start trying to put things together that maybe looks the same, and no doubt this one doesn't. Black-headed goat that wins it's Plenty Burley. He's stout-made, big-footed, wide-based kind of a goat, and he doesn't look that pretty and attractive until she gathers him up and you get your hands on him, and you have to appreciate the mass and thickness that this guy's got. He's got a huge hip. Pin width is really good on him. He's stout on his feet and legs and sound on his feet and legs, like that quite a bit. I'd love to see him just a little stronger in his top line, particularly on the move. I don't think he's wanting to step out and show himself off quite as well as maybe the goat in second. The goat in second's one of those showy goats, super attractive. Young lady's done a great job of fitting him. He is fit to a T, looks the part. There's just not enough to him, young lady, to get around this goat that wins the class. He needs a shot more bone underneath him. He needs to have a little more hip shape in him as we compare him to the black-headed goat that wins the class. Young man in third here got another nice goat, a lot of mass and structure to this guy, big ribbed, big muscled kind of a goat, just doesn't balance up as well as the two in front of him. He wants to get a little deeper chested, have a little more middle to him than what's ideal. It's not quite as in a good a shape maybe as the two that precede him. The goat that comes fourth, I really thought maybe at one time I'd switch these three and four, and it's close. But I think this goat needs more roundness and rib shape to him before he gets above this young man here in third. He's a nice shaped goat that's got some look to him from the side, but he needs more mass. He needs more product. He needs more thickness down his top and into that leg. Great class. Let's congratulate these kids on another nice job.
Okay, class 6 should be lined up. Class 5. First place was Rayleigh Ussery. Second place was Kylie Vogler. Third place, Porter Spencer. Fourth, Henry Kelly. Fifth, Sarah Boniel. Sixth, Shaylee Rutherford. And seventh, Luis Orenstedia. Congratulations, class 5. As a reminder, you need to do release forms if you have more than one animal. I have the release forms up here at the desk if you would like to come get one. We have release forms up here. You have to fill one out if you have more than one animal or species. Class. Did you get the third place? After Grand and Reserve is selected, do remember that we will have showmanship. We will do senior showmanship, followed by intermediate, then junior, then peewee. So showmanship will follow after Grand and Reserve. It will be senior, intermediate, junior, then peewee. To clarify the age group, seniors are 9th grade through 12th grade. Intermediate is 6th through 8th grade. Juniors are 3rd through 5th grade. Anyone under 3rd grade would be Pee-wee.
Well, a nice heavyweight class and a top four that has a lot of variation in it. I go from the biggest goat in the show to one of the smaller goats in this heavyweight class, but I think you got to appreciate the goat that wins the class for the mass and production he's got in him. He's still youthful about his front end. He's youthful about his finish and cover. I'd love to see him better in his hip and hind leg structure when you put him in motion. I'd like to see him stronger in his top line. But I think when you put all the pieces together, this guy is the highest quality goat in the heavyweight class. The goat that comes second, another nice designed one. Yes, he's a lot smaller, but he's put together in the right package. He's wider base than the 1 and 3. He's leveler in his top line. He's got some shape and handle to him, and so I like him quite a bit to move him up in 2. The goat that comes 3, really attractive. And again, a young lady that can really show one, makes him look the part. But I think when you put this guy in motion, he gets narrow underneath. There's not enough true muscle shape and thickness to this goat down his top and in his leg compared to the 2 that are in front of him. And then the goat we have in 4th, another goat, off in his front end, not quite put together quite as well in his blade and the way his neck ties into his shoulder. But that's a big back goat that's got some muscle shape and bone underneath him that you have to appreciate. Good class. Congratulations to you exhibitors.
All right, first and second placings out of each class should be lined up for the final drive. Placings 1 and 2 out of each class. Our class winners from class 6. We have first place was Michaela Collins. Second was Miranda Palashik. Third was Emery Valentine. Fourth, Alexa Johnson. Fifth, Jackson Vogler. And sixth, Valerie Tomlin. Congratulations, class 6. All right, for our buckle sponsors, for grand champion will be Metropolitan Water. For reserve champion buckle will be Bud Cross Ford. For our grand and reserve banners, we have the Binky family. Our class banners were sponsored by Berkshire Brothers. Our senior showmanship buckle is by Somerville Farm and Ranch. Intermediate showmanship buckle is in memory of Rodney Cunningham. Junior showmanship buckle is Eric and Jennifer Boniel, and Pee-wee showmanship buckle is by Rutherford Showgoats. Thank you to all of our sponsors again. We cannot do this without y'all. Reminder, I do have release forms up here at the desk if anyone needs them. You must fill one out if you have more than one animal or species. And they are due by Thursday evening to the fair office by 9 p.m. If you fill them out now, you can bring them back to me at the desk and I'll turn it in. But otherwise, they are due to the fair office by 9 p.m. on Thursday. That's tonight. Oh, that is tonight. It's tonight.
Well, if you would, put your hands together and congratulate all these exhibitors in the grand drive for the meat goats. As you see in a lot of county shows, you end up with a lot of variation out here, and there's not a true pattern necessarily in what these goats look like from the lightest class to the heaviest. But I think my job as an evaluator of these goats is to come out here and find the highest quality ones that I think fit the industry as well today as any. And so I think an awful good set of goats. I will talk about a few of them. Sorry, but I like to talk goats. Little goat out of class 1 I like quite a bit. Love his muscle shape. Young lady's done a tremendous job of feeding that goat and the other goat she had in the barn. Really well designed, well fed goat. Needs to be a little longer hipped. Needs to have just a nickel more growth in him. But I think an awful good one that has to be in consideration out here in this drive for a lightweight. The red-rumped goat that come out of the second class, another real nice designed goat. One that's functional off of both ends in terms of structure. Does he have enough muscle? I don't know. But I think there's enough there or he wouldn't be in the top end of this lineup. That goat's well designed and as good off his feet and legs and his structural design as any that's out here. One of my favorite goats to watch move around the ring is out of class 3, well-designed goat. Big hip in him, one that's got a lot of bone underneath him, still very immature. Not even close to being ready compared to any goat that's out here in this drive. He's the one that's the thinnest today. He doesn't have that pop and freshness down his top and expression down his top over his rack and loin, but I love his body style and design. If I'm going to pick one based on design, I like that guy quite a bit. And then we get into class 4, and this is a powerhouse. He's the powerhouse of the whole drive. He's the one with the most expression of muscle, and this young man did a great job of putting thickness and power into a goat. However, with that comes the fact that he gets a little rounder out of his hip. He's not quite as neat to look at on a profile, but I think he's got to be in consideration for the power and the product that he brings to this grand drive. The black-headed goat, difficult goat to show, wants to overdrive and push himself too much and not really wanting to show himself off out here right now. But man, when you get your hands on that and you have to appreciate the mass that he has down his top and into his hip and leg, and still one that's stout and rugged in terms of bone work and look. I like him quite a bit. I wish he would show himself off just a little better at times. And then we come to the heavyweight class, and certainly at 113, that goat's not too big by any means. I love his youthfulness. I love his mass that he has down his top. He doesn't balance himself up quite as well at times in terms of the way the pieces are put together. His front third doesn't match his hind third. those type of things. And I'd like to level him out of his hip, and I'd like to give him a nickel more bone, and I think it makes it easier decision. So I think it's really tough. There's some give and take out here and some things you can think about and do or where you want to go. To me, I've got my two favorites. I'm going to show you who they are, but give them one more round of applause for a really good job today.
Yep. Daily, 106. And then Kylie's 91. Congratulations. Grand champion was Riley Ustery, and reserve is Kylie Vogler. Congratulations. All right, senior showmanship. You need to line up, please. Senior showmanship is going in the ring. Senior showmanship's going in. Intermediate, I need you to be lining up. Intermediate showmanship, you will line up next.
Well, congratulate these senior showmen. I know they work hard at it, and this is something they really enjoy working on is showmanship, and senior showmanship is probably up there with winning grand champion a lot of times. And so I think there's something I take serious and something that I appreciate quite a bit when my kids showed. And I know that you got to appreciate a stockman, and a stockman is the kid that knows how to handle their goat. They know how it looks from a judge's standpoint, and they can back off of it and brace them and set them up and move them and walk them to the advantage that's the best for that goat. And every goat's just a little different. I'm not going to talk long. I think you've done great. I think all of you are great showmen, but the one that I like the best today and one that's really, really good at what she does is fourth in line. Give her a round of applause. Good job.
Congratulations, Emery Valentine, on senior showmanship. Intermediate showmanship is next. You should be lined up, 6th through 8th grade. Junior showmanship, you are next. That is 3rd through 5th grade. Junior showmanship, you can start lining up.
Well, let's give all of our intermediates a round of applause for a good job. I got to tell you, it's tough. There's not one in here that just blows everyone away. They're very competitive, all six of them that are out here, and they do a really good job. I think it's really close. Comes down to the little things of what you did right and where you excelled. Young man in red in the middle, you're going to win the intermediate division. Y'all can go.
Yes. Yep. Congratulations. Congratulations to Henry Kelly for intermediate showmanship. All right, juniors, you're next. Third through fifth grade, juniors. Pee Wee showmanship will be next. So, Pee Wee showmans, if you would like to come and get lined up, that would be great. After the show, we will take some pictures at the backdrop of Grand Reserve and the showmanship winners. So afterwards, if you will make your way up to the backdrop that is by the steer barn and the rabbits, that section, they will take the pictures up there.
Well, a very competitive junior group here, and all six of them have worked hard to get to where they are. And there's some of them that are a little further along than others, but I think we've got a good set here. I think they've worked hard to get their goats set up and to come into the ring with some intensity and manage these goats that are a lot bigger than they are. Today, young man in black, you're going to win this deal. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Daniel Kelly, for junior showmanship. All right, Pee Wee, you're next.
Congratulate these kids on an awful good job. Well, I can tell you one thing. There's some grandpas in the building and some dads in the building that these little girls and little boys are going to empty your pockets because they are going to love this deal and do it with a lot of intensity, and they're going to cost you over the next 15 years. Getting them through college, I know, because I did mine the same way. But awful good set. Lots of intensity out here for these little kids. They're staring a hole right through me, just daring me not to pick them, and it's pretty tough. And young lady in the black shirt, you're going to win this deal. Congratulations.
Okay, which one is she, though? All right, congratulations to Sage. Give me a high five for Pee Wee showmanship. Way to go!